Mr. David Vonderhaar in the booth with me, and we're about to launch Turbine Multi-Team Team Deathmatch. And this is quite the interesting game mode, Vaughn. What are your predictions right here? And go ahead and make a prediction.
I'm going to predict that this thing is going to be wire to wire, that these guys are really going to just get super into this thing, and we're going to see some tough, tight, close scores the entire match.
Yeah, I actually agree. Multi-Team TDM is introducing, so many different aspects into the gameplay just because of the fact that you're adding multiple teams, as we see Gunshi, who finished that last game absolutely on fire, picking up another kill right there, and that was on Nice, and that was actually Nice from the team Germany. And why don't we pull the picture-in-picture up and take a look here, Vaughn. We see that Optic is actually playing as the Seals faction that I'm hovered over with my cursor right here. And then now we see that Team Prophecy from the UK is playing as the SDC faction. Now Team Envious from North America is playing as the FBI faction, and Team Germany is playing as the Mercs faction.
I really like this view because you can tell where every single team is in position right there, with Envious up there in first place.
Yep, absolutely. So Envious has taken the early lead, but it's oh so close. 5 kills on the board for Envious. We'll swap on board with Karma and see if he can add to that lead. He's using the M8A1 assault rifle with the target finder. Again, pulling off some nice shots there. He's actually got a select fire attachment as well, so he doubled up on his attachments, Vaughn. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that?
I really like this particular attachment, a select fire switch. You can change between auto and burst modes, and one way that I really like to use it is at long range, I'll actually burst, and at short range, I'll go to auto.
Yep, absolutely. It makes complete sense. I got a little bit of time with it as well, as we see Karma go down for the drop shot, almost got a double kill with it, but there he is, he's calling in the UAV. And we just saw he picked up the assist on that kill. Now assists add to the score streaks here in Black Ops 2 multiplayer. What was kind of the decision behind that?
So there's certain score streaks that you really want to be able to reward players for using and activating, and those are particularly the ones like this one, because these are not actually generating kills for you. But if that thing's up, you're seeing that assist points for using any kind of support-based score streak.
Got it. So the UAV will actually give you some points towards your next score streak.
That's exactly right.
As we see Karma picking up another kill right there and spots another one. Looks like he had a foot in the way right there as he went prone. And let's take a look at the overhead map and see where Karma is spawning back in. Looks like he's going to run into a player right here.
No.
And he did. It was Nice from the Team Germany. But Envious still has the lead at the moment. They have 18 kills on the board, starting to create some separation. 18 to 13. The SDC is in second, and that is Team Prophecy. And Twiz now for Envious is on a 3-kill streak. Why don't we take a look at his loadout? He's rocking the M8A1 as well. Seems like he has, is that a bouncing Betty there and a smoke grenade maybe? Or is that maybe a flash grenade? Looks like a flash grenade. So looks like Twiz is kind of going with that classic reflex
Interesting to see him burst at this range, actually. I would think that you'd want to get in there. Those guys are such precision shooters, though. Man, this is such a great player, Twiz.
Yep. Twiz is definitely solid, and now Envious has taken the lead even more. Why don't we actually take a listen in to Team Envy, Vaughn, and see how well they're communicating?
Yeah, he's next to us, Yeah, he's right to your left. Got him. Another one down low, Down low, turret building. Let's work for a kill streak.
Still me.
Nah. Good kill.
I've got UAV, but I'm weak.
Throw it up. And you'll work for a counter. There's another one, top turret over here.
Oh, next week.
And
All right, Vaughn, so Envious definitely had some great communication right there. 2 minutes left to go. That is probably why they have such a good lead. The communication is oh so crucial, and in COD casting mode, we can actually put you into the game with the players with one touch of a button, which is one of my favorite features, if not my favorite in COD casting mode. And it looks like Twiz just missed a player who came up behind him, and it was Optic Ray. And let's see how Optic is doing at the moment. They are your FBI's team, and it looks like they are kind of slacking behind. They're down by about 7 kills. Not too far off the pace, but it looks like Prophecy is now coming back. Vaughn, Shane has a 6-kill streak. Why don't we take a look at him?
Absolutely, one of the best ways to figure out what player is really hot right now, pulling up picture-in-picture, seeing that kill streak column and knowing exactly where he is.
Absolutely.
Oh, maybe did we just curse him right there?
Well, that happens to me all the time when I swap the players. I curse him, and look at this. Shane is fully loaded with score streaks right now.
He's got the death machine out. This should be really entertaining.
Yeah, the death machine is just massive in this game. It does some super damage to the body of enemy soldiers, but you know what I like to use it for? I actually like to take out score streaks with it, because it's brutal. I mean, if there's a score streak in the sky and I can take it out with the death machine, I'm going to do it. It really fires so many bullets, and it's kind of absolutely devastating, those score streaks, and it's absolutely devastating right there as we see Shane picking up the kill on Big Timer from Optic. Envious is still in the lead by 4. We're headed into the last minute of the game now, Vaughn, and why don't we take a look at the picture-in-picture again, and let's see if we can hop on board with somebody who's on fire. Looks like Gunshy's on a 3-kill streak. Now, why don't you tell me a little bit about Gunshy's class,
yeah,
what you can see.
Yeah, so Gunshy, once again, this select fire seems to be a very popular attachment with these pro players, and he's got looks like he's got the red dot sight there, and he's going to aim up and put some targets down. He's been playing pretty good all night. All the players have been doing a great job.
Yeah, and it looks like there are 19 seconds left to go. And there's a care package there for Gunshy. He's only down by 3 kills. He has a care package and a UAV. Choosing not to go ahead and call it in, his strategy might be to go ahead and try and just work around with his gunplay. 6 seconds left, only 2 kills separating our teams. Can they do it as we're on board with Gunshy? Can he catch back up?
Oh,
so close.
Yeah, 42-41.
He picks
what a great
one up
game.
right there. And it looks like that was so close at the end. Gunshy picked up that final kill, but it just wasn't enough. If one of his teammates was able to help out, they would have came back and tied it, but Envious is going to take this one. And let's take a look at the scoreboard here as we see Twiz going huge for Team Envious, 19 and 12.
All right, guys.
Karma with 13 kills on the board. He's negative, though, with 14 deaths. And Toby +1 at 10 and 9 for Team Envious as they take this one home, Bond.
Man, that was a lot of fun. Those guys are such great players, and we're so honored that they came all the way out to Germany to join us and to debut this game mode with us. And it's just so much fun watching.
Yeah,
Incredible
awesome.
finish there. Prophecy pushing hard to the end of the game there, but Envious just coming out on top. It couldn't have been any closer, right?
Oh man, and this is what it's all about right now, just watching these guys compete back and forth, watching them trade kills and looking at those tight scores.
Astro, pick out some of the key moments of that game for us.
Oh man, you know, I would probably say some of the Europeans went on a big kill streaks. They had big kill streaks. One came out of Gunshy, and it looked like Shane had one as well. Swanee actually got in there too, and that actually brought Prophecy back towards Envious's lead. But it was so close there at the very end. That was probably the best moment where I thought Prophecy might actually tie it up. Gunshy got that kill the last split second, just couldn't get another one as Team Envious took it.
That's exactly the kind of competition we're looking for here tonight. Tell us about some of the new weapons and attachments we saw, making the big scores in that game.
Yeah, what I learned really fast right there is that these pro players love that select fire switch, so they can change between that auto and that burst. But we actually saw the target finder in play really early on in that game, and that attachment allows you to see enemies from a distance. They get targeted up for you. That's our 2025 technology in play in this game.
Great to see that future technology in play. All right, we're going to go straight back in with another multi-team team deathmatch. We're switching maps, though. Tell us about this new map.
Yeah, it looks like we're actually missing our screen for a second here, but when we pull it back up, I think we're about to head into Aftermath.
I believe we're going to play some Aftermath.
Yep, that's absolutely right. So Aftermath actually takes place in Los Angeles. It's kind of a busted down Los Angeles, and it's actually great. It's got a lot of close quarters combat, a lot of tight corridors. This is a really interesting map to watch.
Fantastic. All right, let's get this kicked off again. We'll try and get your screen sorted out. Let's get going.
Multi-TDM.
Wow, David, tell us what we saw in Game 1 there.
So what we were looking at was a multi-team deathmatch game. So the game supports up to 18 players.
That's first.
So you got 6 teams of those 18. That's the first. And it's really exciting because you can do any kind of combination using 6 factions and 18 players. In that case, we were looking at a 3-on-3-on-3-on-3. And that's really exciting because that's a lot of enemy threat for those teams to deal with. That squad of 3 had to work well together to be successful playing the game.
Now, we also saw the Pick 10.
Yeah, the Pick 10 Pick 10 combined with wild cards is the framework of what makes up the new Create a Class system. And those players were equipped up so they can be successful working together.
Now, there's also some nuances and changes that you actually made to each of the classes in terms of attachments and perks. Tell us a little bit about that.
So in Black Ops 2, for you to modify your weapon in any way, shape, or form, you have to actually take an attachment for it. So in our previous game, you could actually sometimes use perks to modify your weapon. And what this does for us is make sure that we have perks be about player and player behavior, and attachments be about weapon and weapon behavior. And that's a really important part of how we're tuning the game.
Now, that's actually really different from previous games. Why that decision?
So it's really important to us to make that decision because players expect that an attachment would modify the behavior of a gun and not them, so therefore we could tune how much they modify a gun when they belong to the gun instead of with a player.
So it just makes more sense.
Yeah, so if you have something that modifies, say, the hip-fire accuracy of a weapon, it's much better for us if we can attach that to the gun instead of the player, so it doesn't have to modify the hip-fire accuracy across every category of weapon. We can do it specifically for the gun. That lets us tune the guns even better.
David, Hardpoint's a brand new mode.
Yeah, so Black Ops 2 multiplayer has Hardpoint. Hardpoint is a mode that's inspired by those traditional King of the Hill style play. So you're going to have to defend an area around the map, and you're going to have to keep those attackers out of there, and you have to be in it in order to score points. That zone is moving around the map, lots of intense action, going into a single place on the map, very fun.
Sounds like it's going to be pretty hard to defend.
Yes, but that's what the team tactics are all about in Black Ops 2 multiplayer, and we've given you lots of great ways to set up defensive perimeters with Guardian as a crowd control mechanic, and others.
So let's turn our attention to the codcasting feature because Hastro was really going at it in there.
Yeah, that guy's a professional. And what we did with him is make sure that he and a lot of guys like him have the tools right inside the game to present the game to a viewer in a very exciting way.
So that's actually really important because you guys are putting these tools in the game, and there's probably another Hastro out there in the audience right now. So everyone gets these tools.
Yeah, I hope we actually find lots of Hastro-like guys, right? And that we can make those guys pretty famous on the internet, becoming color commentators for Black Ops 2.
Really exciting. All right, let's get back to gameplay.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We're just sorting out a minor technical hitch. We'll get right back to the gameplay as soon as possible. So I'm joined by Hastro and Vaughn in the meantime. And we've been looking through your tweets to the hashtag BlackOps2MP. Keep them coming in. I think we need to tweet Treyarch as well, right? And we want to answer your questions. We want to hear what you think about the game, the new features. We've got a few up here. So @iBonkers says, I'm going to use that codcasting so much. Now, and I've been thinking about this, Hastro, right? You've had it pretty easy lately, right? But you're going to get lots of competition with this new codcasting feature.
Hey, you know what? The more the merrier, honestly. I really would love for the community to embrace that feature, codcasting. And you know what? It's actually also great when you can take it into theater mode, right? So you'll be able to potentially, it's in development, but potentially be able to record your gameplays and cast them out after in theater mode. So you'll take your saved gameplays and you can kind of work with the codcasting features, remove the elements of the HUD, customize the way your screen looks whenever you have that gameplay saved.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And not a lot of people know about that right yet. So when you go into the theater, you can actually pull up codcasting from a game that's already been played. So imagine that everybody can practice being a codcaster, and you're going to see a lot of guys who create video on demand of some of these top games that get played. I think it's going to be amazing what happens.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And Vaughn, when we talked the other night, one of the things that you said that really stood out for me was that you see an opportunity to bring esports to the masses, and you reckon that Black Ops 2 is the game that can do it. You know, how important is it for you to work with that esports community and bring it out so that everyone can get the benefit?
Yeah, we spent a lot of time over the last couple of months, and even before that, thinking really hard and critically about what does it mean to actually bring this feature to the masses. And it actually takes a lot of things. The first thing that we have to do is we have to make it a sport. To make it a sport, we have the feature called League Play, and that uses skill-based matchmaking, so players can play with people of their skill level. Competition is fun at any level. This is not just for these super hardcore pro players. It's just really good to compete with somebody who's at your skill level. You should win, and you should lose equally. More to that, though, we have the codcasting feature that we just talked about. That's how you put the production around that sport, right? You got guys like Hastro and many others who will come out and help make this very entertaining and fun to watch, and then we have a way to get that to everyone with our live streaming feature. Those three things combined, along with great personalities like Hastro, that's how you get this thing and make it something for everybody.
I think that league play feature is really sticking out for me because, you know, I'm definitely not a pro player, but it gives me the opportunity to play and always be competitive against players my level, right? How important is that, Astro?
It's extremely important. You know, essentially, that's the sport of Call of Duty. You know, we're able to create leagues for players to play in, and they're able to kind of track their progress as a team with their teammates. And you know, what's more fun than that? And that's essentially what Call of Duty is, and traditionally. But now we kind of formalize it with ranking yourself up and trying to be the best you can within the division that you play in, and you're also playing against competition that's around your skill level, so your objective is to kind of get better faster than they can. So it's a lot more fun that way, and I think League Play is just going to be a great feature for everybody out there to play in.
Okay, another tweet we pulled off this stream here is from @WTG_Mollypop, who's really digging the listening in feature on Codcasting, right? And I think that's one of the other new features that, you know, once you experience it and hear it, it's great because you can really get in the huddle with the team and hear what they're talking about. Again, you know, what was the driving force behind that?
Of all the people for you to pull off the stream, we actually know her. Good, very good to see you. So, listen, I think it's really amazing that you can do the listen-in feature. So, this is about being inside the huddle. It gives us a chance when you're podcasting to jump in and listen to how that team is communicating, and it really gives you this sense of understanding how these teams are working together, and you cannot be mistaken. When you listen in, you know, and it's almost always the guys who are working really well, their emotions that they're feeling, that's the team that's usually doing really well, right, Hastro?
Yeah, absolutely. So we took a listen in right there in that second round with Envious, and you know, when they're in the lead, and you hear their communication and how well they're strategizing together and making sure that they're working as a team. And it's just so much fun to hear the players talking. I mean, ultimately, we're watching them play, so why not be able to hear a little bit about what they're talking about?
Very good. So we are going to, we keep those tweets coming in. The hashtag is BlackOps2MP. In the meantime, we're going to hand over to Major Nelson.